right. Hello, everyone. Tonight is the 20th of October 2024, and it's our Leaders Council meeting for the month of October. Today is also the birthday of one of our leaders, the person of Miss Ofyong Patricia. I think we could just wish her a happy birthday by typing in the chat box. Miss Ofyong, we wish you a happy birthday, wish you more life, we wish you success in all your endeavors and prosperity in all that you do. So tonight's meeting, I'm going to share my screen and share the slides. And let me know, can you see my screen? You can see my screen, type it in the chat box. You're welcome, Miss Patricia. Okay, so tonight's meeting, we're going to look at some focal areas. We will talk about three major events, or rather three major items on our agenda. The first is the SWC global event, which is taking place in Kazakhstan. The second is the, let me check again, I wrote these things out. The report of and the result of September 2024. And then finally, we're going to share the marketing system of lead generation for Nigerian leaders. So that is the sum of, or the sum total of our meeting tonight. Without further ado, let's dive into the first item on our list, which is the performance review for the month of September. In the month of September, we realized $6,450 in new investments and $29,450 from all the investors. Now you can see that despite the economic situation, Nigerians are still making investments. This result has been realized at a time when dollar is almost 1,670 naira per dollar. As of today, dollar is over 1,700 naira per dollar. That's to tell you that dollar that used to be 400 naira is now nearly ×4 of what it used to be. And even at that, we are still seeing this amount of investment. So imagine that this amount multiplied by 4. That's to tell you the amount that we would have been seeing, assuming dollar was still what it used to be back in the day. We also had a good result of new registered users. We had 62 new registered users. I believe that this is a very wonderful result. Out of those 62, 15 of them invested. So this was the performance for the month of October in terms of new registrations. And then we had some partners who became investors, that's to say, partners who verified their account and became clients. We had 21 of those out of those people who registered. And then 12 of them signed a partnership agreement. So we continue to push, continue to work. And in fact, tonight I will show you a way that you can be part of this work that we are currently doing and to scale your own personal results in your structure, in the structure of your business. Now, under the matters arising, we already talked about our vision and mission, and recently in the leaders chat, I did a presentation where I talked about the vision in details. So kindly look through that presentation because I don't want us to dwell too much on it. I want to just skip over to the other items on tonight's agenda. So we have the SWC global event, which is scheduled to take place in Kazakhstan. Now, initially, we were supposed to have a global event in Africa. Nigeria was selected as the location for that event. Unfortunately, that event was rescheduled to next year because it was going to clash with the event for the end of year, more like an end of year party of SWC, which is to happen in Kazakhstan. So in Nigeria, Africa event has been moved. A date next year will be announced for that event. But they have now said that since they are having a global event in Kazakhstan, the delegates who were supposed to come from other countries to Nigeria, for whom arrangements had already been made in terms of their transportation, accommodation, etc., that they will just come now to Kazakhstan for that event. And because we in Africa, like Nigeria, in Nigeria, we were not required to leave and go to another place. We did not have to arrange for delegates who will be traveling. We just had, we were the host country. We just had to prepare the location, sell the tickets, etc., and make sure everybody has a nice time and have a great event. But with the new arrangement that they are now going to be moving this, those delegates who are supposed to come to Nigeria to Kazakhstan, it therefore means that Nigeria also has to bring up its own delegates of people who might be interested in physically participating in the global events happening in Kazakhstan. Now, what the company will cover for these delegates, there are going to be 5 in all. So we have the community manager and 4 other people, because I myself will not be traveling. I'll be participating virtually because, well, I want to spend time recovering from my humeral fracture. So I don't think I should be engaging in any strenuous activity over this period. So for those who would like to participate in physically attending this event, the company will cover for your accommodation in Kazakhstan for 2 days, as well as your flight to and fro. Then you will cover your visa. And if you are staying more than 2 days, you will cover your additional days. So if you are interested in traveling, I know the community manager has already started making inquiries concerning the visa application process to Kazakhstan. And you can reach out to Mr. Bisong, and Mr. Bisong will furnish you with more details. In fact, Mr. Bisong, if you are in the room right now, you might just want to take over and say a few things concerning this.
Okay, hello. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, my curator, for the privilege given to address our leaders. You have said it all, and it is very, very unfortunately for you not being part of this journey, but it's all for good for your recovery. And I believe the other leaders are here. It is time for us to use the avenue to, expand our marketing strategy. When we travel for this event, it will give us more boost, and people that thought that this thing was a joke will start falling at the, joining us. It's just a boost for leaders that we're going to travel. So as my curator has earlier said, what I'm going to do by tomorrow, we are trying to look at the embassy, and I noticed that those people does not have embassy here. They alliance with Egyptian embassy. So if you want to apply, you have to apply via online. When you go to the Egyptian Egypt embassy here in Nigeria, so they will give you the procedure. So what I want to say is that if we are applying in group, there is going to be a discount. It's going to be a discount. But if you are applying as an individual, there won't be a discount. So if all the leaders that are going to go agreed, then we start processing it. Then the one thing that is required, I think the company will send, after we give our information, our curator will send those names to those head of department. Then the department will send requests as an invitation for the individual that are going to travel out of Nigeria for that event. So first thing first, already our curator is out of this. Hello, sir.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
So the company is going to send invitation via that embassy requesting that so person is traveling from Nigeria for events. So once they do that, we just easily apply, then the visa will be out for the people. But what I'm trying to say is that if we apply in group, 5 of us that are going to apply in group, there's going to be a discount than you individually doing it. So if you are interested for it, you will indicate interest. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bison. Yeah. All right, thank you, sir. So this is not to say that we have a slot for 5, but that does not mean if you want to attend, maybe you want to, this slot for 5 is just the people that the company is saying they will sponsor their trip to and fro as well as their accommodation. So these people will only be responsible for their visa application. That's the cost that will be on those people. So if you want to come to the event and you do not fall in this category of delegates the company is going to finance their trip and accommodation, you can still attend, although it will not be on more like a personal cost. So I would like to say that the persons who are interested in traveling and are ready to go through the process of visa application, either as a group or as an individual, should reach out to Mr. Bisong. Mr. Bisong, I'm asking you to handle the responsibility of coordinating with the delegates who would be interested in this. So please reach out to Mr. Bisong and he will furnish you with more information. Now, moving on, the Skyward community branded merchandise, the ones we have produced that are still available, partners are not buying them up, so they are just there. We have them there, the last batch that was produced, a lot of them, and we are still asking partners that these are our materials, we should come out and we should identify with the community, and one of the ways to do that is to buy the branded merchandise. Again, we have the Skyward Community Resource Kit. Members should make use of this. It has a lot already. However, we are open to feedback, look at it and say, there is this thing I feel should be there that's not there. We will see how we can make sure it is available. So we encourage the partners to use it and to give us their feedback. Now, tonight, the major thing I want to talk about is the new marketing system for Nigerian leaders. At this point, I want to stop sharing my screen so that we can talk. I want to ask a question to those of us in tonight's meeting. We are leaders in different capacities. So we have grown teams, we have involved other investors. We are not just investing by ourselves. We have brought in other people. Some of us here are masters, leaders. We don't have any consultants in this place. So some of you are even experts. So I want to ask you, in your experience, and you are going to reply to this because this is a conversation. In your experience, how has it been for you when, for example, you want to create publicity for Skyward community? Maybe you want to do it offline by virtue of printing and distributing flyers to invite people to an offline event and do a presentation to these people, get them to know about SWC and invest. Or let's say you want to do a radio program or a TV program. In what way have you advertised and what were the results you got? This is the question. In what way have you advertised the SWC? What were the results you got? And if you want to share, maybe you remember how much you spent. And compared to the result, perhaps if you can now divide the results by the outcome. Say, for example, you did a program on the radio, and then you got 50 people call you. You can now say, okay, I spent so amount, I got 50 results in terms of leads, and how much per lead did you spend? You can share that information. Please just raise your hand so that we call those who have experiences of this to share. And I would also like to ask for those who have used the AMU CRM lead generation system, the SWC icebreaker system for lead generation. If you can share your experience of that system, we would also like that feedback. So I would like anyone who wants to contribute to just raise their hand and we'll call them up to speak. First of all, has anyone here used any form of offline or online marketing in the past? Okay, Mr. Bisong, your hand is up. All right, sir, please unmute your mic and share.
Okay, please permit me if where I am there is noise because the network here is kind of very bad. So I'm outside my compound. because to have a good network now to talk to you people. Without wasting time, I would say that I have both experience in both the offline and the online marketing. I happen to work with the sales department, CRMO, lead generation, and I also have the privilege to, do offline mobilize and do print flyers, go on radio. But the truth of the matter is, when you are doing the experience there that I have on the both sides of the marketing is that when it comes to offline, you have the physical engagement where you have to meet people one on one. And but when it's offline, the experience there is it give you that kind of exposure for you to build a trust with someone you don't even see, that you have never met. So the experience on the online lead is kind of very, very interesting, but well challenged because it comes sometimes with insult and, kind of information that looks very, very discouraging. But one thing for sure I would say is that it's just like there are cows in mixture with sheep, and they ask you to separate the cow from the sheep. So by so doing, you have to take the cow one by one for you to separate them. You cannot just at once take them off. You have to separate them. So in terms of online, that is a procedure, the challenge you need to go. You need to separate the cow from the sheep. And by so doing, you may meet some people that are very arrogant, very naughty. Some will be very calm, but then for them to buy into your idea, it is difficult, maybe as a result of the challenge they experienced previous, maybe in kind of all those sharp business, they get invention themselves, they got their finger burned. So it is kind of something that you need to, bring yourself together, try to like keep on selecting or separating the cow from the sheep. And one good thing about it is that when you get the good one, it covers all the insults, all the embarrassment that you have gotten from the previous, sheep that we were trying to separate them out of the cow. But when it comes to offline, I can tell you that the experience is very, very interesting and nice. But the difference here is that you are having a physical engagement with person one on one. The person is looking at your eyeball, you are looking into the person eyeball. So some person can detect when somebody is telling them the truth when they meet you one on one. And most especially in our region, Nigeria now, before somebody do something that has to do with money, if it is physically seen, then when they see you one on one, that business is kind of, let me say, 75% to close. But when it's a kind of a distance, it's likely for you to close such business. So when it comes to area of printing flyers, the essence of you doing that is to keep the people, even though they go home, anytime they go through that flyer or see it, it will recall to them or remind them that, okay, they have an engagement with this person and so like that. And they will remember you anytime you call. So the experience there is that you get more sales if you have a physical off engagement with people than on online. But on online, if you get 2 or 3, 5 person there, the relationship you build there is beyond, let me say, is something that it will last for forever, because that person never see you for once, but then he did a business with you and trust you. So it's something that it really go a long way. So my experience I have when working with the sales department was very, very good and interesting. I happens to close, I think, 10 sales, but they were a lot of leads before I closed that 10 sales. Some of them I registered them, verified them. They never partake, but the few ones that partake up to today, they are still buying more because they see the light in the project and they trust the person and the connection, the relationship I do. So online, you need to build a relationship first, because if you don't want to you don't have the patience to build that relationship, you may likely go in and come out empty. So that is the experience there. You need to be patient to build a relationship so that the person will trust you vividly, know who you are, and then maybe come back to do business. But offline is more of a physical engagement. So you close sales there very easily and very quickly. For me, that's the experience I have, sir. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you for sharing your experience, Mr. Bison. Although I am more particular about the cost per lead when it comes to marketing offline or online. What do I mean by this? I mean, if I was going to print flyers, for example, I was going to print 50 flyers or 50,000 flyers or 5,000 or 500 flyers. How much per flyer will I print compared to how many people will I give this flyer to that will actually come for my physical event? So that if I have spent maybe 300 per flyer or 400 per flyer, and I have printed maybe 500 flyers and invited 500 people, how many of them actually come for the event, or how many of them look at the flyer and maybe keep it or throw it away, wasting the amount of money that I have spent printing it? And at the end of the day, I see maybe only 10 people haven't shared 500 flyers. So maybe I've spent 20,000 on the printing of flyers. And at the end of the day, I'm seeing, let's say, 10 people. So it therefore means how much per person that came for the event have I spent? That was what I was mostly concerned about. But you talked about something very important, which is the kind of relationship that you need to build with the people when you are working with them online compared to when you are working offline, when they see you and they can immediately engage. But one thing you forgot is what we sell is not what you can immediately say, I want to buy and just buy. If somebody tells me today, I want to invest $1,000, I have to take them through registration, verification, funding accounts before they can actually make their purchase. So even if it's a physical engagement, we still need a relationship because it's going to take a while to get them from the interest to the actual purchase of their investment package. I'm going to call on the next person who wants to share, Mr. Tonasin, to unmute his mic and share his experience.
Good evening, all.
Good evening, sir.
I believe, God, that we are having a good day today.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bisong actually has partially highlighted some of the areas of my interest, or I wanted to share with us because I think it's a similar experience. But there is some other areas that I want to talk about. Then for example, there is an online event that I am actually organizing that will kick off any moment from now with 2 local radio stations in my community, in my village. Because actually, I want to communicate this information to my village people. So I want to speak to them in our own local dialect. So I have actually contacted 2 radio stations, local radio stations in my community that I planned to use for that event. And we have actually agreed on a certain amount that I will pay, which I have also deposited, send them some deposits. The other one charged me 25,000 per 30 minutes program on Mondays during the time that the people usually stay in their house, because we are trying to see when we will be able to pay the audience. And then the other one that has a more wider audience charged me 30,000, if I'm not mistaken, for the same 30 minutes. So I am trying to nurture the presenters that will present the program for me, so that both of us will be on the same frequency. So I am actually talking almost to them on daily basis. I've spoken with one just a few minutes ago. Then I've sent them some materials concerning the company. I've sent them some website concerning the company. I've sent them some videos. But they are almost becoming interested. In fact, I added one to our group because that one piqued interest as I was discussing with her concerning the technology. So she will actually invest anyway in the company. So that one now is 30,000 for 30 minutes. The other one is 25,000 for 30 minutes as well. Program. So we will collaborate. I'm telling them that both of us will collaborate on the program, but they need to understand the project, because if they don't understand it, they will just do it as just collecting money from me, and then they will just present it anyhow and then just go. But if they are committed in the project, they will now present it in the spirit of SWC partners. So when they are talking to people, they will be able to talk to them convincingly, and then the people will be able to buy into the technology and into the idea that we are presenting. So, but at the same time, I will also chip in that all of us, both the leaders and non-leaders alike, all the HWC partners in Nigeria, we must find a way to encourage every one of us to always at least share links or videos of UST either in our Facebook page or in our Instagram page or in our status, WhatsApp status. Because by escalating this information, the work becomes easy for other people. Maybe I may be the one, because I know that every day there's no day that will pass that I will not share information about UST on my status. Then another person can be your friend who will see it on my own status. Then that person may be your intimate friend. He will now confine you. He will not ask you, okay, I think I've seen this in social place, I've seen it in social place, I'm not seeing it on your own place. So please tell me more about this, because there is somebody now, currently as this meeting is going on, that I am actually guiding online to do his own legislation, who just saw it on my status. So he now told me yesterday that he has been seeing this on my status, that I should enlighten him more about it. I now shared 4 videos, just short videos, 1 minute to 2 minutes videos to him yesterday evening. So now, before this meeting is commencing, he now sent me a message that he wants to register. How do we go about it? I started formally the registration process with him now. But now there's another person also. That guy is a big fish. I'm having some issues, some challenges to register him. The guy is kind of going to be our great way to penetrate into organization, because he is heading about 4 Igbo organizations, for example, in Lagos. And he is the chairman of most of those organizations. So when I introduced this thing to him, he bought it with all his heart, with all his mind and everything. So he now told me that this is too good, that we are now going to find a way to communicate this to his organizations, the members of his organizations. In fact, there is one man who is also part of the member of the organization, who is the kind of the head of another organization, that one based in America. So I am also in talk with him. Maybe yesterday, I think I spoke with him, even this morning before when I came back from church, I think I was spoken with him as well. But that is a particular area that I'm having challenges now. In the area of verifying this individual, I'm having challenge, like the one I had with the other man that day that I knew I contacted you, telling you about the challenges. When you get to the page of personal data, after filling those forms, that area, filling the names and all that and the ID card and all those things, when you click the continue, the thing will just remain there. It will not progress to open the other page where you will put the person's address and then proceed to where you will now upload the documents. So this thing is causing some kind of discouragement to this. I don't know, because yesterday I was with him. I told him yesterday to come out. We had a meeting yesterday so that I will now do it myself, because he has been doing it. I was guiding him, and then even when he came to that stage, he told me that this thing is not going again. I told him why it is not possible, that we should meet yesterday. So when we met yesterday, we spent almost like 1 hour to 2 hours. I was trying to see how I could be able to navigate that place. In fact, he was using Google Chrome. I now have to bring another UC browser from my own phone. I told him log in from my phone. Let's see. I shared my hotspot with him. The thing couldn't go. Okay, and I told him, okay, when he get back last night, that he should continue trying it. So that thing is another thing. I don't know whether it's technical, is from their own server or from Nigerian network. I can't really understand why. Because whenever I have these big prospects that will bring more other people, I usually experience these very glitches. So I think for now, this is the area I'm having some challenges. Thank you and have a wonderful night.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your experiences and even your challenges. There is a very important matter you have raised, the matter of verification. As a matter of fact, it is something that I have complained several times to the Skyward Community Technical Support Unit about. I've written to them several times that when we use the website for verification, we get logged out before verification is completed, before we are done with the form filling. And when it does that to us, when you come back to the verification page, it starts from the beginning. And it's not very nice, because it has to, the time that you have used in filling. I in fact have a prospect that during verification, the man is a pastor. He had the plan to have me speak at his church and to involve the members of his congregation into the business. He was so interested. But when we were doing verification, several times it failed, several times. At the time, the man felt the business was not genuine for the website to be having so many problems. This was a period of when they were doing some server upgrade or site upgrade. Then the man also felt it was a sign from God. You know how a pastor can be. He said it was probably God does not want him to do the business. And that was how that man stopped responding to me and stopped answering my, I lost that prospect, to cut the long story short. And this was someone I really wanted.
Sorry to cut in. Actually, I have also had exactly the same experience with one of my friends that is based in London. He was doing his own, that thing refused. So at the time, in his mind, he's now assumed that God does not want him to do the investment. That is, he wanted to invest, I think, up to $3,000 there. That is how he backed out from the process till today. Even I discussed it with my wife yesterday. I told my wife that this thing is now doing exactly the same way that my friend that in London his own did. And then the guy backed out that this is what this man is now doing. And this man is somebody that has, when I say community, I mean, in fact, let me not mention amount here, but huge amount of money has been set aside by the organization for one kind of project that they wanted to do. Now, seeing this one, he said that he can convince that organization to see if they can put part of that money into this very project. But now, look at the challenges that I'm having. I cannot even be able to verify him first to progress.
Well,
Please, sorry, my creator, let me just say one thing. Please, Mr. Tonison, if you have that mind detail, forward that detail to me. I will verify the account to you. Just forward it to me, okay? Don't be over. As far as you have the money,
I will try to do that.
It.
But you know that some of these people, we have the script that we are using in this. But if you are trying to say some people to give you their password, that is the way they look at it. Because I know the one I had, that one I called you about the other time. I knew how I was able to convince him before he was able to give me his. But I told him to change his password to ordinary password so that when I finish with the registration, he can now put back his own main password, which is eventually what he eventually later did. So this one now, there are kind of people, when you are telling them stories about how your company is and everything that your company is doing, and then coming to this verification, it now becomes an issue. And then you have to tell them to, okay, give me your password, give me this one, give me that. Sometimes they will think that maybe in the future you will use it to steal their asset or their investment or something, that kind of spirit, But for me and you now, we understand what is going on. We know ourselves, so we know that one is nothing.
You have a way to tell him. We are looking for a solution. That's the challenge we have. We cannot, just pour our hand and then say we have a challenge. We don't do anything. The similar issue, our curator have wrote to these people several times concerning this issue. So what I am looking here is for us to get the solution.
I understand.
Yes.
So I will call him once we finish this meeting this night. I will call him now to send me those information. Then I'll pass it.
I just tell him that you have discussed with the department, the verification department. So the request,
company's
yes,
representative.
Yes, it will help you do the verification. Simple. So that is it. Thank you, sir.
Hold on, everyone.
Sorry for that.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate all of the reactions to what Mr. Tonasin has raised, but I would like to point out two things actually. Number one, on the website for verification, you will have the trouble of getting logged out. But you will not have that trouble on the app for verification. Pay close attention to what I'm saying. Pay close attention, everyone on this call. You can fill the form with the application with ease, but you cannot upload your documents on the application with ease. When you get to the part of upload of documents on the app, it is difficult. To select the files and upload them on the app is difficult. On the website, you can upload documents with ease, but you cannot fill the form with ease. Having discovered this, what do? We fill on the app for verification. When we get to the point of submitting documents, we log out and go to the website and upload the documents. This is the strategy that I found to be effective. I communicated this with the person who works in the community mentors unit. That is the lady doing her birthday tonight, Miss Patricia Ofyong. I told her about this particular solution. And we've been using this to successfully verify partners' accounts, both in our structure and for other people who have this same similar problem. And Mr. Oigudu, your hand has been up for a while. I will soon call you to speak. Please forgive the fact that we have kept you waiting. Now, we created departments, department of mentor, moderator, speakers, etc. The department of the mentor is responsible, among other things, for helping partners to solve issues related to verification of their prospects. Like the issue Mr. Tonasin raised, which Mr. Bison gladly volunteered to say he would assist. We already have a unit that is responsible for assisting in issues like this. And I just dropped the link on the group. Now, if you click on that link, it will open a message in the message box of the individual who is responsible to assist with issues like this, asking you or asking her to give you a form which you will forward to your prospect to fill. When they provide those details, it's a sequence of the details that is needed for verification, which if they provide, she can then assist. Those who are sensitive to provide those details can be assisted over a video call where they share their screen and they just tell them what to do, so they don't have to release their login information. So we have this on ground. But I will tell you for free that it's not easy because it's only one person that is in that unit at now. We don't have so much resources to hire more people. So those of you who know that this solution I just mentioned, you can apply it on your own. That is to use the application for verification of filling the form and then going to the website to upload the document, and you know the kind of document to upload, how to ensure that it is legible, clear, readable, and the document must match with what has been filled in the verification portal. You can actually use that knowledge to help your prospect through verification, you know. But if you think you cannot do it, you need the help of the verification unit, or you can assist, you can reach out to the community manager who is also willing to assist. Please reach out to them and ask for help. So for that is what we have been able to do concerning verification to assist people who are having trouble. And what I just said now, please don't forget, on the app, you cannot upload easily, but you can fill the form without getting logged out. On the website, you fill the form and get logged out, but you can upload easily. So you use the tool and then you're able to navigate the problems and get your results. All right. Moving on. Mr. Bisong, Mr. Igudu's hand has been up for some time now. I'm going to ask you to speak and share your own experience.
Good day, everyone. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, sir.
It's okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
First of all, I want to appreciate all the speakers, particularly our last Mr. Tonasin, who raised some of the challenges we'll be passing through. It's not peculiar to him. Thank God we have also been given a very good template of solution, which I want to quickly add that we should not let this solution that we have been given lie with us alone. We should also broadcast it to our team members, our downlines, and particularly those who are still actively pushing this opportunity, so that they be on the know and know how to also navigate this challenge. Because losing a prospect is one thing that can really be very discouraging, particularly if it's that kind of prospect that has the capacity to pull in more contact into the opportunity. Now, having said that, I want to talk about the the first issue which our curator raised, which is our experiences with offline and online marketing, prospecting strategy we have been putting in place. Generally speaking, online and offline prospecting strategies should be kind of adopted by all, because sometimes the online may not give you the kind of result you want, but in certain location or with some group of persons, the online may work. So a kind of a combination of the two over time will make you to know in some instances what works best for you as an individual. In my own case, I've actually had a very poor experience with offline marketing. I know I spent a lot of money initially when I was pushing this opportunity. I hosted event on my own, rented hall, printed materials, invite, and at the end of the day, the outcome was just too poor. Then I decided to do online marketing. Of course, I generated a lot of leads. Like as Bisong observed, all these leads, very few actually ended up becoming serious with the opportunity. But on a general note, I noticed that I got more result from my online marketing activity than my offline. Though currently I'm working a certain offline strategy, which is in line with what Mr. Tonasin just mentioned about that new prospect that he had that had control over a lot of Igbo community in the Lagos Axis. Actually, maybe you would have noticed that I've actually been trying to penetrate into cooperative societies. And the idea is that if you can successfully break into their circle, then sooner than later, you just keep pushing on, pitching the opportunity before them again and again. And the response will now be continually on the increase. So in my own case, I would summarily say offline activity has not been too favorable with me. So I narrowed down to more of online. In terms of the cost implication, well, I may not put those figures in my head, but I know if the offline is not yielding the kind of result I want, that means all the flyers printed and all that. One other interesting thing I experienced with offline, you will share flyer for people, they will not even read it. Immediately you leave, they will just throw it away. They will just look at it. They will throw it away. So these days, I don't even like the cooperative society I'm trying to engage. I refuse to give them flyer. If you are interested in what I'm doing, you will come and meet me. You will ask questions. At that point, I will try to get your contact. Then we take it from there and begin to build up. So this is a little I want to ship in. Thank you for the privilege to speak.
Thank you so much, sir. We are grateful for your insight, for your contribution. Particularly noted what you said about the flyers. I've had that experience several times, too numerous to mention. There was a time, in fact, getting flyers to print for a fair amount is not easy because with the cost of everything now, it's very expensive to print. And when you print and you share your flyers and see them on the ground, it breaks your heart. I've had that experience several times, especially when I was trying to open the IoT office. I shared flyers which I printed. I even thought I printed it cheap. I had to print from Lagos and have it sent through Waybill to Benin. Then I took it to the, where I needed it. I distributed. Most of them ended up on the ground. The day I was sweeping, I was seeing my flyers torn, stepped on, and I was not very happy because I know how much I spent per flyer that was printed. I did not get a lot of participants who came in through the flyers. I only had old members of SWC coming back for the seminar. I didn't get new prospects. Now, people have shared. I'm sorry, I have a headache, but we will continue with the meeting. Actually, I shouldn't say I have a headache. I am recovering from a headache. That's a better way to say it. So anyways, the system for marketing online, which I have used for the last 3 years or thereabouts, I have had trouble with a number of issues on that system. If it is not the fact that these results are poor, I don't even know, maybe I can show you something, I can show you some data. I guess, let me do something here. Let me stop sharing my screen and then let me, a moment, please. I like to show you evidence to what I'm saying so that it will not look as if I'm just making this stuff up. So I'm going to join with my other phone.
Recording in progress.
Sorry. Then I'm going to share my screen from here. I'm going to take you through something very interesting. This is, can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. I want to show you something. Look at this advert campaign, this one here. Do you see the results there? I ran this advert sometime in, where is the date now? I ran this advert in September, 13th September to 30th September was the schedule this advert was supposed to run. While this advert was running, I had 1,043 people click on the link of this advert. 1,043 link clicks, as you can see from the results there. Do you know that the link that they were supposedly clicking on was a link that ought to take them to my landing page? Let me show you the landing page they were supposed to get to. They were supposed to get to this page here. A moment. So this is the page that they were supposed to get to. This one, which carries a video that tells them a little bit more about this opportunity and has only one call to action. Only one action item on this page says join the training group. When they click on that, it ought to take them to a group where I will run a training, a WhatsApp group where I will run a training. Okay, if I open this page on the website now, this is the preview, so it's not going to display the way a normal page will display. But if I open the actual website, that link ought to take them to a training group. Now, do you know, after I got 1,043 people click on that link to visit that website, I went to check the insights on that site to see if these 1,043 people, whether they actually got to that site and actually visited it as Facebook was telling me. I saw that it was only around 500 and something that the site recorded as people who visited it, that the visitors were around 500, whereas Facebook was telling me 1,043. So I had a question in my head. Where are the other half, almost 50% going to? So I went to my advert and I clicked on it myself several times and I discovered something. That sometimes when you click on the advert, that link which you have put there, sometimes when they land on the page, instead of them to click the training, they click away, they go to other pages on the website, and sometimes they don't see the training group link to join. I only had one person joined the group eventually after the number of clicks I had on this advert. So I knew the advert was not working and I stopped it. Within 1 or 2 days, I saw these results and I had to look for a different solution. The second thing I tried, I did an advert with a WhatsApp group link. WhatsApp, that's the group link on WhatsApp, was the link when they click on the advert to say learn more, just take them directly to the WhatsApp group. So I was waiting. And then Facebook started telling me that people are clicking on that thing, and I was not seeing anybody joining my group. So if you are clicking on my link and you're not joining my group, where are you going to? I went to the advert and I clicked on it myself, only to discover that it was redirecting people to Google Play Store to download WhatsApp. Instead of it to take them to my WhatsApp group, we take them to Google Play Store and tell them to download WhatsApp, even if they already have WhatsApp on their phone. That was what my advert was. That was the link was not working the way it should work. So there were many challenges. I tell you, I've been trying different things for 3 years. This is just the most recent example of what I've tried. In fact, let me show you something. At a point, I had to start documenting what I have tried that failed. So you can see here, this is my notepad. Let me see if I can find okay. So this is buyer's journey, right? Now, the ones that failed are the ones I wrote down here. You can see I wrote run the advert from WhatsApp business as a status. That is when you run an advert, you just upload a status on WhatsApp business and then you boost it. I tried that. You can see that beside it, I put my feedback. It's a thumbs down emoji that I wrote there. That is to say, I tried this, it did not work. I tried the second one, run the advert on Facebook and direct people to a WhatsApp group. I tried that one. That was the one I was taking people to Google Play Store to download WhatsApp. It did not work. So I documented this. I have tried this. This did not work. I tried to run the advert from Facebook to a landing page on Milkshake before they go to the WhatsApp group. That was the one that had 1,000 clicks. That did not work. Mind you, all these things I'm doing is money I'm spending. And I am seeing that it is not working. Eventually, I found a solution that works, which is this one here at the top. And I used it in September, and this was the outcome. We ran an advert. Let me go back and show you that advert. And we generated 180 plus leads. And each of these leads, we saw them. It's not as if they will say they clicked and we looked for the people that clicked and we did not see them. The 180, we could account for all of them. As a matter of fact, we still have the data of those 180 people. The data includes their name, phone number, and email. And that information is all you need to initiate their registration. Am I communicating? Please react in the chat box if you know the profound meaning of what I just said. Imagine that you can spend, we spent 29,480 something naira for this advert, this particular one I'm showing you. This was done in September. Mr. Tonasi mentioned this evening that he is to pay 30,000 for a 30-minute session. And that 30-minute session now, we don't know if he's going to get up to 180 people calling. And if they call him, we don't know if they are going to give him their name, their email, and phone number and say, oh God, register me. But I'm telling you that that same 30,000 gave us 180 plus leads with their name, email, and phone number and an interest to join a training where basically all we need to do is to insert in the form they are filling to join that training that your application is you giving consent that these details will be used to create an account for you. And all that gives us already is 182 signups. I don't know if you understand the power of that. Now, I haven't tried it the first time and it worked. I said, no problem. We will do it again, but this time, because the first time I tried it, I had like 3 people working with me on this. So we had like 60 leads each, 180 leads we divided by 3. So each person was handling 60. And we did not just say go and handle them and tell them whatever you feel like. We prepared every single script. What you will tell them at first, what you will tell them when they move to this stage, until they invest. Every single script of what you need to. So you just copy it, edit it, paste it. That's all you need to do. We prepared all the scripts, over 20 plus scripts, including messages that you use to follow them up daily. That is message that does not involve the steps of their investment process, but just normal messages to just initiate a conversation and get them to remember that you are, to remember that you have told them something before about SWC that they need to go and do. So that when they reply to your normal greeting message, you can now remind them that have you done your registration or have you done your verification? The last step they stopped, you can remind them to continue. So we prepared everything. We thought through the process to the letter. I can tell you that we finished, if it's, let me say marketing is a cycle, the CYCLE. The cycle, we thought about it from the beginning to the end. We thought about everything that you will need within that cycle. And we prepared every single level of it. All it now requires is the deployment of lead generation. So when we do a campaign and generate traffic, you will not be looking for what to say to these people. You will just copy and paste. If you think that that's incredible, let me see your reaction in the chat box. Thank you, Mr. Jiburi. Thank you, Mr. Joseph. Thank you, Mr. James. Thank you, Ms. Patricia. Yes, it's profound. Let me tell you, in my 3+ years marketing Skywatch community, oh my God, the result I got this last 2 months, if I had been getting this kind of result, I'd have been Sky Expert a long time ago. Really, let me tell you something. We bring people, let me ask a question. If you open a school today and you admit people, it is not a question of whether or not, whether your school is teaching well or not, whether your school is the best or world-class best or not. If you only admit people in your school, a time will come, that school will have graduates. A time will come, it will have alumni. A time will come, it will have old boys association. It's only a matter of what? Time. As long as you admit people. As long as you admit people. It is just like if you pour food down your throat, you are going to have nutrients from that food as a byproduct of eating. You're also going to have waste product as a byproduct. So if food goes in and you do not go to the toilet, at some point you will have constipation. In other words, if something is entering, something has to come out. So we have been able to figure out the process of getting leads to enter our funnel and also structure the process of nurturing these leads with the proper information at the proper time of their buyer's journey. We now created, again, a training. And all of this took work, took time, took effort. We created a training where we teach people how to use the scripts to follow up these people and to work on the lead management system. As a matter of fact, I want to share that with you briefly. Let me stop sharing from my phone. Sorry, guys, I'm having a very severe headache. I had a very stressful day at church today. I finished from church. I was supposed to go home, but I was boxed in. Some people who came for the next service, they parked and blocked me. So I waited under the sun for hours. I had to wait till the end of the second service before I could go home. So I got home with a very bad headache, and I'm still yet to fully recover from it. But that wouldn't stop what we have to do tonight. All right.
Please be sipping water. Be sipping water as you are doing the presentation.
Okay. Maybe I should get a little cup of water and put it beside me. Thank you for that suggestion, sir. All right, so just give me one moment. So thank you very much. Now, what we are looking at here is a phase-by-phase implementation of this lead generation system. See, many of us, we need to appreciate what is going on here. What I'm telling you is not something that you should look with a, should I say, don't look a gift horse in the nose, the way they say. This is something that is profound. So I found this and I could as well have said, let me keep it to myself and use it to grow on my own. Or let me share this with others so that they can also grow along with me and we can all achieve good results together. So I decided to share this, and not only to share it, to teach it to others so that everybody begins to get good results. People will no longer need to spend 30,000 on a 30 minutes program. In fact, Mr. Tonasin is lucky they said 30,000. Mr. Henry recently did one, 30 minutes for 75,000. 75, oh no, 145,000. I think that was the amount, 145,000. That was Nigerian Info. How much Nigerian Info Radio charged him. He shared it on one of the groups. So it was to pay 145,000 for a 30 minutes program, of which he was recounting the experience he had before when he went there and how the presenters were laughing that the business is marketing is a scam, because as he was talking, they went online and they saw scam and they looked at it and they were laughing. That's why Mr. Tonasin is saying he wants to prepare his presenters before they speak about this opportunity so that they will not go and ridicule the opportunity or give the energy that will make others feel that the business is not a genuine and a viable one. So these are the challenges. You will spend your money and you will not get results. If that 145,000 Pastor Enem were to spend was to be deployed in advert, I can run advert for 3 months and I can bring around 400 leads each of those months. That is about 1,200 potential investors to the Skyroad community. So it's profound. The results you get online for the amount you spend is way less. Because if you were to use that money to print flyer, you cannot guarantee that 180 something people will come for your program and give you their name, email, and phone number. So I said I will deploy this in 3 phases. The first phase is to share the successful results that I got. I haven't tried various things with money. Let me show you something that I didn't show you before. In one of my advert accounts, let me stop sharing here because I really need people to appreciate what we are doing here tonight. This is how much money has been spent trying different things before we finally found what is working. You look at the top of this account. This is one account of many. I created this one very recently. You see how much we have spent there, testing and retesting different things to figure out what is working. If you see the amount, please type in the chat box. Thank you. So that is to let you know that what we are showing you here, what we are telling you here, if you were to go on your own, and well, I don't want anybody's help, I think I can do it on my own, you will waste money. I'm telling you that this is the money I spent with knowledge. With knowledge. It's not as if I did not know anything at all, and I was just doing like a novice. I was using knowledge to still test and try, and yet I wasted that much before I was able to now say, oh, this one is working. It's not only about finding out the kind of process of your advert that will bring results. There is also the what kind of advert should I even create? What's the content of my advert? What should be the call to action? Many things go into it. But anyway, you don't have to do all that because we've done it for you. Now, this is all you need to know about the deployment of this process. And I want the leaders of Skyward community to benefit from this test. So the first stage of deployment is to share the results, which I have just done. And then secondly, run adverts to generate high quality leads. And then train, CRM here means customer or client relation managers. Train this working group of Skyward community, the amazing people that work with me in the various departments, and teach them the skills of CRM management with ethics, responsibility, and urgency, and assign each of them up to 50 leads to manage for a period of 2 months. We already did that. The advert we did this month in October, we wanted to achieve this goal, giving each person 50 leads to manage for 2 months using the script we created. But I discovered that 50 would be overwhelming. So we stopped the advert at 30 each. So we ran the advert, we got 240 leads into our lead funnel. Stop the advert at the point each of the 8 people on that system already had 30 leads assigned to them to work with. Now, what we're going to do over the next period of time, we'll be following up these people, and then we will check after 2 months what is the result and the conversion. And then, do you know where it becomes even more profound? Those who have been registered, we will just transfer them to the Skyward Community Sales Department, who will then call them to follow them up till they make investments. And then we implement phase 2. I'm sorry, anyways, I'll try and wrap the meeting up quickly so that I can go and rest. Now, the phase 2 is where you come in. We are going to do this again, but this time with 10 leaders from the Leaders Council. 10 of you will be pilot test members of this system. But this time, this is what we are going to do. What we're going to do is we are going to create a form that the people who fill that to apply for our training will be giving us the consent to use the details they fill to open Skyward Community account for them, which means that for the 10 people who will be pilot test members of this system, you are going to get the assignment of leads who you can immediately register. What does that mean? It means that as we assign a lead to you, you will see the name, email, and phone number. You can just take that detail, sign the person up with your link. Before you will now message them to tell them that they have been registered because they applied to join this training. And the next step is verification. So you will be entering a conversation with a lead, the stage of initiating their registration. All they need to do is to confirm and complete the registration and to do verification. And I can tell you, in fact, I will not be the one to tell you, those people who are working on the system will tell you that these leads are high quality compared to what we have been seeing from adverts we have been doing before. And any of them that's in the room that wishes to speak about what I just said now can raise their hand and do so. Is there any one of the current lead funnel managers or CRM managers that wishes to speak about the quality of the leads?
Yes, sir.
All right, please go on.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My curator have said it all. Before I say anything, please just make a summary of this meeting, because the more you talk, I'm noticing the more you talk, the more you are having the headache. Sorry for that. I can tell you that I've worked with the department, the Skyward Community leads. But to be honest with you, the leads we get from this, our curator, the one that our curator is generating right now, it has a lot of mature people. If not for anything, let me say, people are scared of online stuff. Or yes, I can tell you for sure that these leads are well mature, because some persons that make contact, that I've talked to them, most of the leaders are assigned to me, 2 persons are doctors. Yes, the other man, I think, is also a professor in one of the university, but the man was kind of being skeptical to disclose his information. But I'm following them quietly and step by step. So in terms of lead, the leads are quality. They are not just a lead that you call somebody and you discover that the person is a baby, is a child. But those ones that our curator is generating, these are matured. Any person you contact there is up to 30, 20-something above. They are mature people. They know what they did, and they know the information they get access and what they want to know or take from it. So that is my own take. The leads are quality compared to one I was using from the department. Because from that department, sometimes you call, I'm sorry to say that you call somebody and you notice that it's a boy that is not up to 18 or 27. I'll be telling you some things that you don't even need to know, be calling you name. But those lead that our curator is generating, at least you call them, they say, yes, I'm aware, I apply such things, and I will do it. Just that, people you have to keep on ringing before the attention will come back to what you are trying to sell to them or buy them into. That's my own take.
Thank you for sharing, Mr. Bison. I would also like to ask Mr. Igudu, because I saw in that lead funnel, someone who came in was I don't know what he is, but the name on his application was HRH, Dr. King something. So HRH stands for His Royal Highness, Dr. something, and then at the end it was JP. So that man is probably a chieftain somewhere, maybe a community king or a community leader. And in the assignment, because we are assigned on the basis of series, if you want to join the system, you would have to pass an evaluation. And on the basis of how you pass that examination, we will now, like, the first person who gets his passes the evaluation becomes number one, number two, so that's how we assign the leads. So based on that, Mr. Igudu got assigned to work with that particular prospect. And I would also like Mr. Igudu to share the experience he has had working with the previous prospects that he has contacted.
Yeah, my curator, I must sincerely say that when you have a desire, somehow God will bring you a contact with the resources or the tools to make that desire happen. In the course of my sharing the other time, I mentioned that I've run ad on my own before, but the result were very poor, very poor. But the leads you have been generating via this special new lead generation system, the leads are awesome. Everybody you talk to, you see them that they are actually even expecting you to be in touch with them. There is a man I communicated with. He was trying to be hasty about investing. Is it not $50? I told him, sir, it's not all about money. Oh. Keep your money first. The first thing you need is the knowledge of what you are going into before you cannot decide what you should put in, whether you are going to put in $5 million, $500, $5,000, or $50. At that point, the man would pause. It's like he was taken aback because it's like the person knows what he's selling. So the lists are unique. Apart from that, I met a lady who also said she has her WhatsApp account has been hacked due to this kind of link being sent to her. So I should just sign her up, which is in line with what you said about they giving consent for them to even sign up as part of their onboarding process. Then this evening, I just noticed that HROH, Dr. something, I think the man should be from the Igbo speaking area. I was about calling, and of course, I got in touch with you this evening on one or two things. At a point, I said, no, I will not rush and call this man when there are so many people around who may distract me. I'm going to leave that set of people for tomorrow morning when everybody has left. I will be able to do it in a very professional and organized way. So the list, the emphasis here is that the lists are very, 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 very of good standard, very high quality lists, very high quality lists. And their response are also very positive.
Thank you very much for that feedback. So ladies and gentlemen, you have heard from the people who are working on the system. We can take more testimonials, but I'm really feeling like I need to go and rest. So I will wrap up by telling you all that this is what is available for the Skyward community leaders first. But eventually, we are going to allow other members of the community to take part in it. But there's a but. I can only handle so many. I cannot take everybody under my wings at once. It will not be possible to generate leads unlimited, or should I say, without having a point at which you will stop and now do follow-up and track results, which is why we are starting with 10 leaders. And each of those 10 leaders, we get 40 leads assigned to them at the cost of 500 naira per lead. So we will create or generate 400 leads for these 10 leaders, and they will only need to pay for the advert budget. So if you generate 40 leads at 500 naira, that is 20,000 naira is what you will pay for the advert. That money is going into Facebook advertisements. By using it to generate leads for you, we will give you, on top of the fact that we are generating leads with your money has already been spent. We'll still train you how to work with these leads, give you scripts that you can copy, edit, and paste, and the stage at which you have to use the scripts. We will also train you on how to work with the system, because we created a system where you will see the leads assigned to you and other people as well, and to work on only your leads, not other people's leads, because anybody caught doing that will be removed from the system and they will not be given the option to join in future. So we will teach you how to work with ethics, responsibility, and how to work with urgency. We will also assist you by helping you nurture your leads by the training we are going to be doing on a WhatsApp group, where we'll be seeing for 5 days, giving them information materials about this opportunity, which can hasten their decision making. I can tell you for free that if you take advantage of this, within the next 6 months, you will have very many active partners under your structure that you will be getting commissions on a monthly basis that will continue to increase month on month. That is the guarantee, because if you admit people into a school, or in this case now admit leads into a training, at the end of the day, we are going to have graduates, we are going to have Old Boys Association. And what does that mean? It means that if we put leads in here, train them, follow them up, sign them up, we are going to have people who will become partners, people will become investors, people will become active promoters of this opportunity. And you can have them in your structure by simply taking advantage of this lead funnel that we have created and even gotten to test and seen very good results. Now, if you think that this is an amazing opportunity for you to grow your business, let me see your plus in the chat box. Thank you so much, Mr. James. Thank you, Ambassador Elvis. All right. Thank you, Mr. Sunday. Thank you, Mr. Obi. Thank you, Mr. Jude. Thank you, Mr. Bison. So yes, all you need to do is to pay 20,000 naira for adverts. That 20,000 gives you 40 leads. You get trained, you get materials, branding materials. You can see that many of us have our customized Skyward community profile picture. You must have this if you are going to work on this system. So we will give it to you by creating it. You will submit your picture, your rank, we will create it for you, so that when you engage your leads, you will not be engaging them as any other person but a Skyward community partner or representative of the Skyward community. So we're going to create these customized branding materials for you. Every other thing that you need, there will be a support group for you, where you will even be able to ask questions, and also share your results. We have in our support group currently, let me show you currently, let me just share my screen from my phone. Sorry, it's taking a lot of time. I ought to, sorry I'm taking this much time, but I think it's important that we do all of this and show you all of these outcomes. So this is presently the place where you will be joining this group. This is where we share our results. So you can see the reports that came in from some of the partners working with some of these leads. This is a report, for example, from leads contacted, leads that are yet to join group, those who have joined, those who have collected the link, etc. And It was today that we stopped running the adverts. So this is the kind of results you will get. You will see your name assignment as a tag to the leads that you are assigned to work with. And it's all done on a very simple, easy to use template on Google Sheets. You will be taught how to download, install, and work with all this in the training that you will receive. So this is a kind of results that you will see, and this is where you will be engaging with the fellow lead managers and also sharing your results with them. We've seen very good results. I would not share that here because this meeting is being recorded and there are things that you're not supposed to share. Privacy reasons will not allow you to share a form that carries people's contact information. So that's why I'm not going to show you the lead funnel. But those of you who will take advantage of this, you will be allowed to get into that system and work with those leads who are assigned to you. So that is the summary of what we have for you. For those who want to scale their business, this is a unique opportunity for you. Instead of wasting money on other things that I see a question in the room. Mr. Godwin says, is it possible you get the material or the template for the lead and run the ads yourself? Absolutely. We are not saying you must do this with us. As a matter of fact, if you listen to what I said I can only work with 10 people. If there are those of you that have the knowledge of how to generate leads and you do not need any other thing, but you just need materials, I already provided materials earlier on the slide before this. What did we say? Let me go back to that slide because apparently you missed it. If you see the kind of way I work with my team and also work with the Skyward Community Nigerian partners is that I provide you every information resource that I have, that I use by myself that helps me get results. I give them to you under the SWC member resource kit. This kit here, let me send the link. It has something called the SWC Beginners Marketing Guide. In that guide, I have, among other things, scripts and templates that you can use. I will even update them and include all these scripts that, follow with the lead funnel that I've created. However, the way the scripts work is that based on the stage the person is on the lead funnel is where you will use the script. So if we just give you the script without teaching you, this is the stage to use it, it wouldn't make sense to you because we have created, I said, a cycle from the top to the end, connecting from top to bottom. Because when we are running an advert, sending out information that there's going to be a training. Now, if we give you the script that says, have you joined the training group? And you are running an advert that is just saying people should just watch a video presentation, you see that it is misaligned. So we have created script based on the stage of onboarding of the people based on the advert we are running. So I don't know if that makes sense to you. If we just give you the script, it's like we are giving you the flesh without the skeleton. And if that's what you want, we can give it to you, and then you have to go through the stress of trying to modify it to the way you want to apply it. But then scripts are not a problem. If you want them, we will have them given to you. Yeah, so you can also look in the marketing guide that I have created. It also contains scripts that you can use and adapt to your own, the way you want. So that's that. And this is it in summary. The new marketing system for Nigerian partners, pay 20,000 Naira advertisement fee, which gives you 40 leads. You get training and evaluation. That evaluation is important. If you don't pass your evaluation, your money will be refunded to you and you cannot work in the system. We get professional profile branding. We get a collaborative workspace. We get 20 plus scripts for lead management and dedicated support personnel and lots more. Now that's a question Mr. Tonasin asked about verification. During verification, there is a staff. Well, I would not say staff, but there is a person who helps to assist with verification-related issues of these leads that we are going to be working with. And if you cannot help your clients to get verified, we have somebody who can assist with that. Now, we're going to skip this part and move to feedback and conclusion. So if you have anything to say as a feedback or before we conclude, put up your hand so that we can call you up to speak. All right, I see Ambassador Smart's hand is raised. Sir, you can unmute your mic and speak.
Okay, thank you very much, my curator, and thank you, members of the Leaders Council. And let me put it that way. Let me quickly speak so that you will have your rest. For me, like the first week this very program started, I tried it out and I saw the effectiveness. My personal issue is my moving here has kind of limited me to my potential because trying to settle down and to get my documentations for PR process has been taking a lot from me. So I thought before that I was hardworking until I started working with you or working under you. Then I knew that I am starting. So when I see so many things you are involved in, Mr. Sunday, Mr. Bisong, I say these guys are champions. So all I needed to say is that, like I told somebody this morning, Skyward is a company you can create your own company from. So I used to have my company, but now I have seen a company I can leverage on. Not only Uniski String will come and go. These people will still bring up verified projects that they will still involve us in. So what we are doing, we are creating legacy, and I sincerely want to appreciate you and the whole bunch of leaders here. You people are exceptional. You are wonderful, and I'm so happy to be working with you, working alongside with you. I see men of integrity. Sincerity is my signature. So when I see people who works in integrity and sincerity, I give in all to work with them. So I appreciate you, every one of us, and I say may God bless our venture and our activities. Amen.
Thank you so much for that feedback, sir. I'm very happy to hear those words. Thank you. Mr. Godwin, your hand is raised. Kindly unmute your mic.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity to. I wanted to just give a suggestion or a contribution. I noticed recently, ever since should I say ever since Web3 started becoming popular, so and mini apps as well, Telegram mini apps. So I discovered that we can actually run ads on Telegram and generate leads as well, because there was this particular ad a colleague of mine ran and on Telegram, and he actually got very good result, because me too, I use Telegram, and recently I subscribed the Telegram Premium. So most of these ads, you see them popping up in just below some groups, below chats, and all the rest of them. And then some of these mini apps, people do partner with them, kind of, for them to display their art. And I've seen so many of them. You get to see them implement tax or give a tax that you can't just keep seeing that advert. So you must, it's kind of, for you to be able to earn whatsoever or get the reward of that tax, you must visit those ads, you must see them. Some of them even has a countdown timer, some are 30 seconds and all the rest of them. So you must wait, see the countdown before you can get whatever reward that is attached to the tag. So I think for me, it's going to be another way whereby we can advertise the SWC and the ski string transport. Then adding to that, some time ago I talked about um, like going to events, sponsoring some events. So it was on Saturday. There is this event called SM Fest. I attended. That was in a way. So I discovered that it's actually a paid event. It's not free. So you have to buy tickets for you to get in. I think the ticket is around 7,000. So I discovered that people attended, and also they intend spreading it to other states. Like the next one will be in, I think, Anambra, and the other one, the next one will also, the upcoming one will be in Abuja. and so many other states like that. So now the keynote speakers that you are invited for the event, they also talked about people buying bonds, people buying shares, and all of that. So I discovered personally that these people get to say these things to the participants, but they don't refer them to any viable company to do that. The only thing I heard them say was paying for a master class after the event, which will be holding the next day. And the master class is around either 20,000 or thereabouts. So those who are interested will pay. And I also believe that possibly in the master class they won't be giving them direct details on things to do, or maybe companies or whatsoever they've done, like that they can refer people to do exactly. They will be giving them maybe a clue. So I think if we can have the opportunity to sponsor those events, because the event had many sponsors, which they gave them both time to speak, they played their videos and all the rest of that. So if we can leverage on that opportunity as well as the one we have already, I think we'll go a long way, because it's not just events that are open to anybody. It's kind of a paid event. So if you don't pay, you cannot access it. So I believe everybody that is paying for something is going to get value. So if you think it's not valuable, I don't see any reason for paying for it. So that's just my suggestion this evening.
Thank you so much for your valuable contribution. I'm going to react to what you have said. First of all, you are absolutely right. They run adverts on Telegram. But let me tell you something about those adverts. The quality of leads that you will generate, will be very poor. Quantity does not equal to quality when you run adverts. That I had too many people join my link because they were forced to do so. The advert told them you have to stay 30 seconds or you have to perform a task of clicking on an advert before you can win a reward. Mind you, the mindset of the person who is going to click on my advert, therefore, is the person who is clicking on it because he wants to win a reward. Maybe they are mining a token on Telegram and the advert is telling them, for you to get this, you have to do this. Now they have done that and they've entered my group with absolutely no interest in what was being advertised except the reward they wanted to get. Is that the kind of lead I want to work with? That is the person that will spam my group with another link about another project that he's mining somewhere because he just wants to get a reward or get referrals. I will turn my training group to a marketplace of links because I will bring the quality of people who are interested in nothing but short-term reward for clicking on, tap swapping, hamster combating, and whatnot. Those are not the prospects for Skyward community. They are not. You people who are on the training group currently, you see that group, I do not prevent participants from commenting. You see the group is open, but do you see spam messages on that group? Do you see people spamming the group? I want you to react or respond. Those of you on the training group. Or even if you do see one or two, how is the frequency of spam on that group compared to the fact that we have over 600 people on that group presently and more people join every day?
One guy attempted it, but it was not successful.
The person who even attempted to spam the group was not a lead from our advert. He joined from the community. If you check, he joined from the community. It was somebody that saw people entering into the group and he decided to also come in there to spam because he thought that he can leverage on the traffic that's been generated there. And I removed him immediately. We do not even bother because the people coming in there, they know what they are looking for. We don't want everybody. You class your business for the right people. So it's not about we want to generate traffic. We're not trying to just throw the net into the river and hope that we pack a lot of fish and then we'll now say, okay, now let us start selecting which one is good fish, which one is bad fish. Or, we want targeted, specific quality, high quality leads. And that is why we cannot implement any system. I showed you before I started sharing the results, the amount of money that has been spent on Facebook alone. That's not to tell you that we have not tried other ways or other areas. So this thing you are saying, we have done it. And I know the kind of quality of leads that will be generated from that particular type of strategy you are advocating, because we have tried, I have tried it. My own personal, Then again, the second thing you mentioned, you talked about partnering with event and sponsoring events. This has been done. As a matter of fact, I have an award here. Okay. A little bit far away, but I have an award that was given to Skyward community, which I received on behalf of SWC for an event I sponsored. That was the Span Health Week. I sponsored the social final year week. I sponsored a number of events. We partnered with and sponsored several. Sense for Tech, we were invited as panelists. We spoke, talked about the same opportunity to invest. Social final year week, we went, we spoke. Span Health Week, we were even the major sponsors of that event. So we were given a very long presentation pitch. But the problem I have when I go for those events, when the event is over, there is no time to do proper onboarding of the interested people. There will be interested people, but no time for follow-up because the event has its own agenda, which you will have to follow. So for you to now branch out and say you want to be doing something at the back, it usually does not align with the event because the event also has a, plan or intention for the participants. So it's always very difficult. And when I say, okay, scan this code to join this group, before the people at the back can see the presentation slide and scan the code, it's very difficult. At some point, I say, okay, I'm going to try sharing flyers with the QR code for participants to scan. To get people in that event who will distribute your flyers, like you rightly mentioned, there are many people sponsoring the event, yes? So each one has a goal, and they are not going to be willing to help you achieve your own goal because they have their own goal to achieve. And like you rightly also mentioned, many of these people will tell you about bonds and investing and tell you to get more details, come for a masterclass, which is a paid masterclass. That is something that I want to speak a little bit more in detail about. You see, there are two kinds of marketers online. There are network marketers and there are affiliate marketers. Now, what's the difference between these two? Network marketers build success by leveraging their team, their structures, and getting results passively from the sales of the members of their team. So it is in the interest of a network marketer to strengthen and to train and to grow their team. They do not pay, they do not charge people for the information resources that they have, which is why you have access to every single beneficial tool that I use. Because your success, one way or another, I consider it my success, even though you are not directly under my team, Mr. Godwin. You just now, you just said you needed scripts. I'm sure if this was a network marketing webinar, somebody will tell you, pay for access to scripts, pay for access to me, pay for access to my masterclass, pay for access to my 2-day webinar. That's what you hear in those programs because you are dealing with affiliate marketers. They make profits when you buy their knowledge resources. Most of the time, they don't give it out for free. They give you a taste. If you want the main thing, come and pay for it. And sometimes you pay and discover they don't even know what they are promising to teach you. I have paid for several things and come to find out that I know a lot more than these people are offering. But I will just still stay with them, vibe with them, and see if I can connect with 1 or 2 people who we can probably, do something together in future. So I've paid. Hello. In promoting Skyward community, all these things you are mentioning, partnership with events, joining associations and networks, I've done it. I have stretched within the last 1 year a lot, but that's a story for another time. However, I have come to find out that this thing that I'm proposing is a breakthrough that will work, and we will not need to be testing other things that don't work, which we have already tried, and wasting more resources when we can just focus our resources on what works. Now, I did not ask you to pay for the knowledge or anything else. You are only paying for the advertisement. You will see your money go into adverts and generate leads for you. The money you would have used to buy flyers that you will pay probably 400 naira per flyer, and you will not even be able to guarantee 400 people will contact you through that flyer. You will get a guaranteed result. So, in fact, you will even have them give you permission to sign them up. Basically, you will get 40 guaranteed sign-ups for the money that you pay. And if you do not like the result, you do not have to pay for the following month or for the following batch. So it's basically like a subscription. And if you do not like your outcome, basically just say, no, I'm not continuing with this. However, I want to let you know that this option is on the table for those who want to grow their business. So 10 slots. And once we fill this 10, we're not taking any more. Your payment guarantees your slot booking. For those on this call tonight, note that if you want to be part of this, you pay 20,000 naira to lock your slot, and we will add you to a training group. If you don't pass the evaluation, we will return your money to you and look for someone who actually will go through the training, pass the evaluation, and commit their time. Mind you, the payment also guarantees that you will take it seriously. We don't want to assign leads to you, and at the end of the day, you leave them and don't contact them for maybe a period of 5 days before you now go and check the Google Sheet. By the time you know you paid for that thing, you'll be interested to check it. So this is what is on ground at the moment. Gentlemen, I think this is a good place to wrap up tonight's discussion. Mr. Bisong just dropped on the chat room that for those of you interested in going to Kazakhstan, reach out to him so that you can forward your information to the department. Mr. Elvis mentioned earlier on that in my private DM that he would want to know about the possibility of traveling from Canada to attend the event. So Mr. Bisong also add that to the inquiries that you've been making to the department. And ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I want to say thank you for coming out tonight and for being in tonight's meeting. God bless you all.
God bless you and good night all. Good night. Bye-bye.
God bless you too, sir.